How's it going, guys?
How you
I'm
doing?
gonna start off here. I accidentally revealed what was going on here, but welcome to the February 2023 live giveaway for Release Over 20. Poor production values have shown that prematurely revealed what we're going to do, but we have some exciting guests this month, which we're really excited about, and it's kind of reveals a little bit what we've been working on behind the scenes. So first, I'm going to bring on our board members. See if I can figure out how to do this. Maybe I just got to do it all. Hey, here we go.
You started laughing. You must have been looking at me.
I promise you, I'm sober. I'm drinking a Guinness, but I just started. Yeah. So, Adam and Carrie, how's it going?
Good.
Hey, how's everyone?
Everyone's good. And I'm pretty excited to have two guests join us today. Chaya, our Virginia State rep. How's it going, Chaya?
Good. How are you guys?
You just popped on. We didn't get a chance to say hello to you yet.
Yeah, I was trying to find my MacBook, and then it wasn't charged, and I just hopped on my phone, and so.
Cool. And then we also got Cliff Hall from our Louisiana State rep. How's it going, Cliff?
Going pretty good.
Now, Cliff and Chaya, y'all haven't met each other yet, have you?
No, this is the first time.
Yep. So we're overdue. We need to get the state reps together and just one thing we want to do sooner than later is have a sort of a little onboarding too. But I think everyone's all on the same page for the most part. But also, I think I think that it'll be awesome to get our state reps together just to talk about what y'all are doing in each other's states. It's like everyone's needs and priorities are a little bit different, but I think it's great because I think you'll feed off each other. I really do. So yeah, pretty cool.
I think Cliff and Chaya, it's interesting though. Cliff and Chaya, they're both trying to accomplish the same darn thing without a whole lot of guidance, really. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you guys are doing a great job. We really appreciate everything you're doing. Chaya, I know that, I reached out to the guys that you gave me some direction towards, and Cliff, you and I have been kind of corresponding too. But yeah, I think everybody's kind of on the same page without a whole lot of guidance. I mean, our mission is pretty simple, right? Straightforward.
Mm-hmm. And it's simple, yet it's semi-broad. It's not strictly Release Over 20. If you read our mission, it's not 20 at all, and it's not only about releasing certain fish. So but yeah, it's good. So Cliff and Chaya, I'm going to have you, if you don't mind, after we start our little slideshow here, I might have you each take just a couple minutes and just sort of broadly describe what you're working on and what's going on, with what, once you started here, you've both kind of been just actively doing some cool stuff. So I think it'd be helpful just to get people to hear what you're doing. Does that sound okay?
For sure.
Yep. Okay, cool. So let's see. I just got completely hidden here. That's cool. I prefer it that way. So I have our slideshow here for the month. And that a little bit's going to be redundant if you watched last month, but that's okay because these are the things that we have going on. So I wanted to remind everyone yet again about our fundraiser event. Cast It Forward is coming up really fast. It's already March 5th and it's April 29th, so it's going to be here before we know it. We got one more giveaway between now and then, but we do have some updates, and I just whipped these out, and there's a lot more than what we're showing here. Our planning is underway, and we have two kind of co-headliners. We've got Tia Clark, who, if you're not from Charleston, you probably don't know Tia, but she's amazing. She's got she came from kind of an impoverished school in Charleston and had some health issues growing up, and kind of got all of a sudden got back to her roots of just like, going on the dock and just spending the day on the water and crabbing and just kind of chilling out. And she was encouraged by people to like maybe invite a few friends and just do it. And I'm not going to reveal the whole story, but in a nutshell, she's basically the number one Airbnb destination activity in the country right now. And I've seen her at work. She's got a team of people. They show up at a dock. First thing they do is take everyone's cell phone just to get them away from social media. And they pretty much just hang out in the dock and go crabbing and cast net, whatever they get on the net, and talk about the biology of it and talk about conservation. They have some oysters that they have planted, and they can see the progress over time. And it's just fun. And everyone that goes there has a complete awesome time. And it inspired her to lose weight and get healthy. She's really super inspiring. And she just had like a featured thing at the Charleston Wine and Food Festival, which is happening right now, which is a huge international kind of event where she cooks and does demonstrations. And so I really look forward to hearing from her. And of course, we have C.A. Richardson from Flats Class TV. He was with us last year as well, and he's been a huge supporter. He can talk any given day. He probably doesn't even have to prepare. You just give him a subject, and he can talk for an hour on it, and it's well worth listening to. If you ever watch his show, like, the thing I've always liked about his show is that he teaches you the hows and whys, whereas a lot of times fishing shows are just someone who hires a guide in some different area and they just shows them catching fish. His is a much better show, I think. But we've got a lot of featured people. It's going to be a packed full day, and we just had Scotty join us.
Hey,
Scotty, we'll come to you in a second. Okay, just hang
sir.
up. We got Matt Chipperfield coming up from Jacksonville, Florida. And we're going to team him up with Justin Carter, who's like our Charleston area trout expert. And I'm going to have those two guys just kind of compare and contrast trout fishing in Florida versus South Carolina. We got Christian Conley to talk about sheepshead fishing. We've got a lot more that is planned and we'll be announcing soon. We got another this year. We're going to have another women in fishing panel. So we have Charleston has a lot of women who are just making waves in fishing, and anything from guiding to in the professional world to bringing other women together. And so that's going to be pretty inspirational. We're also going to have a fisheries conservation panel with our South Carolina DNR, CCA, South Carolina. We have the Charleston Waterkeeper there, and I think we'll be talking to them about kind of like what are the challenges that they see and what are the things that they're hopeful about and that are going well. And that'll be really good. And we also got Chef Ty Coates going to do, Coates, I'm sorry. He's going to be doing some a cooking demonstration. And just a lot of stuff. We got kids' activities, and I don't know, Carrie and Adam, do you want to add to that? What did I miss?
Well, the only thing that I can think of that you might have missed, and it's not in concrete or anything, but we're trying to get the shrimping industry or the shrimping, people that are interested in shrimping in too. So we're trying to get Bait Binder, who makes a bait for shrimping. We're trying to get him involved and maybe have him team up with a local shrimper so that we can talk about shrimping. But that may or may not happen. So that's kind of in the works. Adam?
Yeah, and then the only other thing is we are going to have like Dave said, we're really aiming for the whole family to come out. We're going to have a lot of kids oriented things. We're going to have we're also talking about incorporating some type of fly fishing portion. We have Healing Waters, which does fly tying. So they're going to be here teaching people how to tie flies, but we're also thinking about doing something with actual fly fishing instruction. It's still in the works. So obviously not definite, but as you guys covered, we're really trying to cover all the recreational aspects of on the water, whether it be crabbing with Tia, as Kerry mentioned, hopefully shrimping, potentially the fly fishing, and then all the 3 target species that we have right now with just a lot of technique and things with, trout, sheepshead, and potentially flounder. But again, that one's a little iffy if we can find somebody that really targets them and focuses them. But yeah, I think you guys covered the gist of it.
Yeah, to add on to what Adam said, yeah, it's just kind of cool because I think we've got everything covered as far as like all the sort of outdoor water-based activities that you could ever want to do on your boat or even from the bank. So pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be a really awesome day. Tickets are on sale right now. We need to get a link to it. We're going to have a link on our social media really soon, but we don't quite yet. We'll also have a link to our online auction, which will be being put together probably next 4 weeks. That's where we really earn our money for the year, is through that online auction. We do make a little bit from the sale of the tickets and whatnot, but the best thing you can do is bid on those auction items to help us out. And we are probably going to have some big expenses coming up for the year with we're looking at making an app, like a Release Over 20 app, which won't be cheap, but we're going to have to fundraise for that. So yeah, cast it forward, mark in the calendars, April 29th. It's going to be awesome.
And for those of you not in the Charleston area, the auction that we're doing, you don't have to, and we're also raffling off a kayak. You don't have to be present to win any of it. We're actually aiming to have a lot of out-of-state participation, in that we're rounding up some guides in all the states that we have people in to donate trips that hopefully you all can bid on. So we're definitely trying to reach all areas, at least in some form, for this event.
Yeah, and we will get the items to you somehow.
Hey, and sorry guys, my wife's not here. She's out of town, so she's the one that is usually letting the dogs in and out. So I apologize for that. But maybe the easiest sell out there, honestly, if you've got friends that are guides, if you got friends that take people fishing, or that are known for, or you've got YouTubers that take people fishing, that's what I am, then they can offer their services as, just a day. Like David's going to do a day trip. I'm going to do a day trip with anybody that wants to bid on my trip. When then I think last year mine was like $350 for a half a day or whatever. But those are easy sales for people that really want to get in and help Release Over 20. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Yep. So yeah, it's going to be good. And we'll announce when we have the auction up, and you'll be able to browse through it prior to
we'll probably get the auction up. Yeah. 2 to 3 weeks prior to the event.
Yeah.
So not till probably, the end of this
month. And by the way, if you're listening and you want to participate, donate something for us to auction off. We'd love to hear it. Reach out to us, please. I had a friend of mine who just happened to hit me up at a gathering and said, I've got a full set of shrimping equipment that I've never used, and it's like poles, nets, buckets, everything, and you're just going to give it to me to add to the donation. So that's probably a $300 or $400 donation right there. So we'll take what we can get. So hit us up.
Yeah, we're none of, as you could probably tell, none of us are really that fond of asking people for much, especially money. So this is the one time a year we're actually going to do it. We're not going to do it at any other time this year. So just trying to get it all condensed into this one event. So just
well,
for the record.
I may contradict that a little bit. We may be asking for more money depending on how aggressive we want to be with the app
That's true.
and how much we make, because it's going to be
that's
a
true.
big. It's going
If
to
we
be a
don't
lot
win-
of money. We're going to have
We
to
do
raise
really
it.
poorly. Fair point.
So
Sorry, I shouldn't have said
That's definitely our goal, right? Yeah.
But this is our main fundraiser, and we wanted to talk about our kayak. So yet again, we have been donated this amazing kayak from Native Watercraft by way of Big Adventures out of North Carolina, and they approached us and offered up this. It's a Slayer Max, a Slayer Propel Max, and it's a pedal kayak. Really wide, super stable. It's got a million features on it. It's awesome. Like I didn't see it till we had the expo we went to, and we brought it there, and I was really impressed with it. I have a couple Hobies myself, and I was kind of giving this thing the side eye, like, wow, it's pretty sweet.
It's the lightest 10-foot kayak on the market. Pedal kayak. So, I mean, and it's well put together. I got to fish with these guys when they brought it to us last April. I got to fish with them on my creek here at the house. And he brought me this brand new one, which we didn't put in the water. And then he brought 5 other ones that he and two of his college roommates, I think, and one guy from Hook, and then me, and we all got out there and got to fish, caught a few fish, but they're awesome little machines. So
you did not fish in this one, though.
No, this was never been in the water. Yeah, it's never been in the water.
Yeah. And it's like it says there, it's a $2,700 value. The tickets there's 3 pricing tiers depending on how many tickets. I want everyone to know that if you enter and don't win, it's still a donation for us. So if it's like kind of like, oh, I was gonna donate $30 to Release Over 20, you might as well just buy a ticket because you might win the kayak. And we're gonna do it super transparent, like we do all of our this giveaway tonight. You know, it's like we're gonna do it live at the event, Cast It Forward. We're gonna have like an Instagram live broadcast, and we're going to print all the tickets out and put them in a barrel and have someone pick it live, so anyone can truly win it. And if you're in like Alabama, how are they going to get it, Carrie?
Adam and I am going to haul it to you. So Scotty, Chaya, and Cliff, if you do get somebody that, wins this thing, I'm bringing it to them. So I'm going to haul it to them. I don't care where it is. But
pretty cool.
So it's free delivery.
So one thing that is important to state that our tickets are on sale now, and they're on our store, releaseover20.org/store. And you can go there and buy your ticket whenever you want between now and Cast It Forward.
And Adam and I are probably planning on fishing too. So wherever it is that whoever wins this thing, if we get to travel, which I say if we get to travel, we're making a fishing trip out of it. So.
For sure.
Always.
You got to.
Yep.
Quick reminder about our guide program. We have 63 guides signed up, and more every day. So just be aware of it. All you got to do is put in your information, your guide logo and contact information will be listed automatically on your state page, and we will send you the guide kit for free. It's got some decals, it's got some brochures and some postcards, and then every time you enter a fish for a client or for yourself, for your guide, you'll be listed on our guide leaderboard. And the entries that you enter for a client or your client enters for your charter service, we'll do a giveaway just for that. And we're gonna do that tonight. Sign up, releaseover20.org. Get on board, guide program. So let's talk about our state reps, our growing state rep list. Since last time, we've got two new state reps. One of them is here, Scotty Wasson, and he's from North Carolina. And we also recently have signed up Don Bellius from Mississippi. Both a couple great guys. I'm going to just maximize this to talk about a little bit. But so we're proud to have Cliff from Louisiana here. Raise your hand.
Hey, Cliff.
Hey, guys.
We got Chaya from Virginia and Scotty from North Carolina. Scotty, you're on mute, just so you know. So if you were watching last month's broadcast, that's how Scotty kind of signed up, man. He's like, hey, I want to get involved. And I said, Scotty, get a hold of me. And he did. And we had a talk. We sort of met with Scotty, and we're excited to have Scotty join us from North Carolina. So, yeah, thanks for joining us tonight, Scotty.
Yes, sir.
So, Scotty, you've been pretty active in Race to 20, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, Brandon Pearson, who runs that, is our Florida state rep, and if you don't know about that, Race to 20 it's kind of like a loosely branched to us, where it's a no entry fee tournament, and it's just kind of for fun. It's a sort of a contest around the country to see who can catch the most, or the first one to catch 20 trout over 20 and 20 redfish over 30 and release them. And then he's just about to start April 1st, the summer series, which I've signed up for, and you can pick from 3 of 5 species. I picked redfish, trout, and flounder because that's kind of common around here in Charleston. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So, Scotty, you kind of just signed up. So, you got anything to update us on, or have you been working on much? Or
Just fishing. We went fishing this afternoon. Caught a couple, tagged a couple.
Okay, cool.
So,
I think I saw you entered a few, right?
What was that?
I think I saw that you entered a few.
Yep.
Yeah.
Entered 2 last week.
So, cool.
But I tagged the last 3 days. I've tagged 3 over 18 and a half, and then tagged a bunch that were 12 to 14. So.
And Scotty, you're a charter captain, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So let's move over to Chaya. So Chaya, you're in Virginia.
Yep.
You were one of our first, if not the first, person to join on with us. So it's kind of funny because I think you won one of our giveaways a long way back, didn't you?
I did. I
Like
think
last year or something.
it might have been 21 or 20. It was the flounder one.
Okay, yeah, cool. So Chaya, he won that, and then he was like, "Hey, if you ever need anyone to get involved and help out, I'm in." And I was like, "That's awesome, but we're not ready. We didn't even know what to do with that." And so we finally feel like we're ready for that. So I finally hit Chai up, and I'm like, "You remember us? Like, are you still in?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'm still in." So, so what's going on in Virginia these days?
Just a whole lot of reading fishing reports. Water's still too cold. Well, not to catch, but it's just temperature wise, I haven't been out. But the rockfish run is going to happen here soon, and really, we're not going to be targeting them during that time. But the trout bite should start to pick up here in the mid Bay. I want to say probably into April if temps stay the way they are. But I haven't been out, just mainly a couple freshwater outings. And that's about it. I can't wait, to kind of get out and get the lines wet. It's crazy because when I'm not fishing, I'm like buying new gear. So I've got some stuff that I'm looking to put new line on and get the lines wet here soon.
Nice. And we kind of put you in touch with some of the people up there, like in CCA, and just kind of trying to get you kind of networked into the whole conservation community up there, and also with like Charlie Church and Medell, and just kind of making those networks up there. That's going to be really important for all our state reps, just to make sure you're kind of like, who they are and they know who you are, right?
Yeah. And my goal is just to really, promote and market. In my day job, it's a lot of business development in what I do, and really I look at Release Over 20 the same way as a nonprofit, is to get out there, and you're not, well, I mean, in a way you're selling, but you're promoting what they're doing, the cause, and really teaching the young kids. Some of the places I go to, there's a lot of young folks that are out there, and you don't have to keep every fish, and especially the bigger ones, just kind of teach them so that way they can kind of learn, and try to set the example. And then, like you said, Dave, is to get in with the CCA guys here in Virginia and Maryland, and try to network as best as I can, so that way we can have a little bit more of a reach, in terms of what we're trying to do, and let CCA kind of foster that as well.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And then Cliff, you got probably the most to talk about, I think.
Yes. Got a lot going on. It feels like a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
Fishing wise, last week I got to fish some. I was off of work, so I got 5 days of fishing, but I think I fished myself into getting sick.
I didn't know that was possible.
I didn't know it was either. Don't tell my wife that, because she'll have. But it was good fishing. But I've been trying to do giveaway stuff. So where I used to work for nonprofits, I did auction items. So that's kind of the lane I decided to jump into. All in tackle shops, local sportsman websites, things like that, local tackle makers, trying to get them to donate some items. And now that I've got enough items, talking to local people, do YouTubes, different down here, some people with kayak tournaments, and just trying to find like little lanes to start building awareness. Because I think right now in Louisiana, we're at the stage where we just need to get eyes on the project. I think once you get eyes on it, like myself, if I can share, South Louisiana, coon ass, sorry if I can say that, but definitely Cajun, keep everything. Growing up, that was the mindset. And a couple of years ago, I stumbled actually on a YouTube. I released over 20 and saw a guy, he caught a 20-inch fish. He didn't make a big deal about it. He measured it. He said, I'm going to release it for release over 20. And it just popped in my head like, hey, why not do that? I love catching big fish. Like, it doesn't in home fish to release a couple big fish I occasionally catch. So just immediately just bought into it. So that's kind of the mindset I have when I think about encouraging people to do it, is just need to get used to it, because it's a really simple and inclusive mission. So just right now, where I'm at is try to get awareness on the project. And then we got some ideas to follow up, but that's where we're going to start.
Good. Yeah, that's awesome. And you've kind of been working hand in hand with John Miller, right?
Yeah.
So,
really good dude. There's a few YouTubers in Louisiana who they already have indirectly mentioned Release Over 20, or they were already all falling together, obviously, in a lot of ways. Of a few YouTube people, they were like immediately, yes, I want to help any way I can. So it's been really people come together, honestly, and get really excited about it.
Hey, Cliff, can you tell me what John's YouTube channel is?
I think it's John Miller Fishing, if I'm not mistaken.
John Miller Fishing.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's John Miller Fishing.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been super like helpful. He's already made a few videos on it. He actually posted one yesterday or something like that, where he caught another 20-inch fish. And it's really cool that you guys are working together. And so it's kind of cool, the connection, because he had a video. God, gosh, it was probably last month, and he was with Don Bellius, and they're fishing buddies, I guess. Well, Don's from Mississippi, and Don contacted us and said, I think I'd like to be the Mississippi rep. So we talked to him and had a great conversation, and so he's on board to be from Mississippi, and he's just getting started. So yeah, I mean, it's like one of the things that I think is the best about this whole organization that we're putting together, and it really hit me the most at our last Cast It Forward, was just the connections that we're making between like-minded people, people that never met before. Like, I know you guys have some of you can, or some can't make it, but if y'all could come to the Cast It Forward, even if it's not this year, like next year, try to make it a point. It's really cool to just see the connections that are being made that they may not have ever had a chance to meet each other in person. And then, you see what comes out of it. And, one of the coolest things was Matt Chipperfield and C.A. Richardson. If you're a follower of Flats Class TV, there's a episode where he went to Jacksonville and fished with Matt, and it's called Trout Sensei. And someone's like, "Oh yeah, I saw that episode." And I said, "Do you know how that came about?" And they're like, "No, I had no idea." Well, this is how it came about. We invited Matt to be a speaker at Cast It Forward, and along with CA. And Matt was a little bit like, I don't think he ever gave a trout talk before in his life. He was a little bit nervous about it. He did amazing, and it's somewhere on YouTube, the whole talk. But he gave his talk, and he's like, at the end, he's like, "Well, one thing I just got to say, if you don't mind me saying, it's very surreal to be standing here on a stage giving a talk, and right there in the front row is C.A. Richardson listening to me." He's like, "I never thought in my whole life that would happen." And C.A. raised his hand. And he goes, "What are you doing in February on the full moon?" He's like, "Probably fishing." He goes, "How about being on Flats Class?" And he was like, "What?" And that's how the show came about. I mean, they never would have met each other before that. So that's just one example of how, there's also a few people, like we had our women's panel, and there was another woman that's not fishing related, but she makes a cooking product called Coastal Badass. Her name's Lauren Tupper, and she wanted to be more confident taking her boat out and going fishing by herself. And one of the women in the panel, Kelsey, who works for Shimano, they met each other, and Kelsey's like, "Oh, come with me. I'll teach you everything you want to know and make you confident so you can take it out." And she was like, "Oh my God, this is so great." So yeah, just really cool. So I hope, like Chaya, Cliff, and Scotty, and the rest of our state reps, I hope that y'all end up becoming tight, and fish together, and who knows
David,
what can come out of it.
Captain Tanya, that she's awesome too. She's on the panel with the women, and she's actually, that's what she does. She teaches women how to back boats and how to run boats, and how to do all that stuff. The men, the husbands, are not invited.
They should be. Some of them can't back trailer up.
Scotty, you probably get that completely, but I just think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, but listen, we don't have the funds this year, but hopefully, Adam, maybe next year, if we raise enough money, I think our goal would be to bring everybody to our fundraiser, make sure that we've got the funds to get you guys here, get you an overnight, stay. Looking down the road, we've got a lot of things we want to do with the app, and with a lot of other things. We're going to ICAST this year, but I think that we could probably try to find some kind of money to get everybody, all of you guys. I'd love to get together with all you guys and just do like a 3-day weekend where we all switch boats and fish and get to know everybody. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. Let's make it happen, man. We're just getting started. So yeah, I'm going to go back to this presentation, but thanks y'all for chiming in. I think that's kind of cool just to catch up on what's going on. So let's talk about February. So we had 259 trout entered, just 4 flounder. Flounder are pretty much offshore spawning right now. Sheepshead, not a ton entered, but it's something we got to keep working on to try to get some awareness of that. And yet again, Chaya's home state, Virginia, slapping the rest of the country around with their entries. Scotty, North Carolina, coming in second. I'm always proud to see South Carolina up there with not a ton of coastline, but I think probably just because we're in South Carolina, we're based in South Carolina, so we have a lot of awareness here, and hopefully just get more awareness in other states. We'll see these numbers jump up, especially like in the Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. Love to see those numbers come way up in the near future. There's no reason that they can't. Here's our angler top 10. Donald Rogers was in the lead. Virginia legend Keith Nuttall was in second. Wesley Abreu in third. And it took, looks like 7 to make the top 10 for February. Our guide leaderboard was going to be outdoor, had 9 entries. So comment here from Sarcaster. Crazy voice had some trouble catching. Yeah, there's a lot of 20-inch trout in Virginia. And
catching over 30 up there.
What's that again?
So they're catching over 30 inchers up there.
Yeah, no question. Just as an example on that comment, one, I think December 2 years ago, one angler had over 50 trout, over 20 from Virginia entered. So yeah, they're there. Just got to find them.
Jump in. You're Virginia. What's going on up there?
I think you're on mute, Chaya.
Chaya,
we couldn't hear you.
I think you may have been on mute. What's going on in Virginia? Uh-oh.
No.
Oh.
All right, go ahead, Dave.
We lost him. Okay. All right. So, Sheepshead giveaway. Carrie, take it away.
Oh, well, for Sheepshead, I mean, I think I was kind of thinking about the gnats. The gnats have been horrible the last couple times I've been out. So, bait binder T-shirt. I think it's a medium. But the mud minnow gator is going to help. We got some spray, mosquito spray, for gnats or whatever. We've got some boat wash, and we've got some twitch clips and a retractor too. So it's a cool little giveaway. But
yeah, heck yeah.
Keep all the gnats.
Okay, flounder.
Flounder, well, slick lure, which David, you've been using those lately and been doing very well with them. Another gator, mud minnow, another gator, Florida fishing products, and then the gnat spray. So again, I'm just thinking about the gnats.
You're a smart man to be giving out gnat spray right now.
I'm telling you right now,
and the gator.
I've been holding those for this time of the year.
Like, don't leave home without a net gator at least.
No. And I'm telling you what, those mud minnow, they're extremely comfortable too.
Yeah, it's good material. I haven't tried one yet. Yeah, slick lure, like Carrie said, we just started carrying them in our store, and I tried them last year a little bit. the thing about like where I fish here in Charleston is I fish a lot of lay down trees and like snaggy stuff. And I want to fish a mirror lure because I know these big trout are in there, but I can't because I'll lose every single cast. I'll cast, I can't get it back. So I was intrigued by these slick lures because they're weedless. And if you hear the story about why they were designed the way they are, it was for the same reason. It's because Joey Landreneau couldn't fish a treble hook through the grass in his part of Florida. So he designed this sort of like a gliding, sort of suspending lure and made it with the owner beast hook. So it's a big, giant, huge weedless worm hook. And it was like exactly what he thought he needed. And I'm telling you what, they're exactly what I've been missing, because I can now take this thing and chuck it into the top of a tree branch and know I'm going to get it back. And the killer thing is that trout are all over that thing. Like I couldn't believe it. They're hammer that thing like a mirror lure. And the bite is just as aggressive as a mirror lure. And don't get me wrong, I'm not dissing. I love mirror lures. I just can't fish them where I normally fish. So these are a great alternative to that. If you fish in a place that's got a lot of structure, they let you present like a hard lure type profile in that structure, and they work. Because I caught an over 20 trout the first day I tried it, and I gave it to my friend John Archambault, who's literally wrote the book on trout here in Charleston. I gave him some. I saw him on the water, and 2 days later, he sent me back a picture of a 22-inch trout he caught on it. And I only gave him one bait because I only had one pack with me. So, I mean, they work. The freaking things work. So,
Dave,
sorry, I didn't mean to go on that tangent, but
it's okay. Listen, I want to give a shout out to Greg too, because he sent us some trial baits, and especially the one I really wanted to try was called the Ozark. It's a smaller profile, and I'm from the Ozarks of Missouri, and when they called it the Ozark, I was just in. But he sent me those, and I only fished one of them. I ended up, there's 3 different guys at the landing. I ended up given each of them the rest of them. So Adam and David, if you don't get your Ozarks, that's why.
It's funny. I never got into Ozark.
I know. You've never even seen them, probably. They're a new product. So.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. But thank you, Greg. Thank you so much. That is just, what you're doing for us for Release Over 20 through Cast It Forward, and just being a sponsor for us means so much. We appreciate you.
Yeah. So if you don't know who Greg is the current owner of Pure Flats, Greg Sample. And Carrie, he was the first company to become a sponsor of Cast It Forward, even though they're based out of, he's currently based out of Georgia. But, yeah. And then after we're done, Carrie,
yeah,
will you fill us in on what they just did down there with that tournament?
Yeah, I'll try to. Okay. There's a lot going on, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then the last giveaway, the third giveaway is speckled trout.
Is this the trout or the captain? Is this a trout, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the trout giveaway here is, the trout, we make that our big one. So that's like $150 worth of stuff. And if you look at the picture, you can see what it is. But, we've got eye strike with a hat. I try to keep our sponsors to where if they sponsor us for a year, then I try to just pull enough stuff to where I can make them last for a year, but it doesn't always happen. But Rayo's sunglasses, they gave us, I think they gave us 16 pair of sunglasses or something. So, we're giving some of those away. Hook obviously just sent us 24 hats, and we've got some t-shirts, and got all the good stuff. Slick and Mirror and David, who's the guy with the shirt right
Prime
there?
Gancho.
Yeah, Prime Gancho with the playing card too. Z-Man, Salt Strong. So it's all right there. It's $150
Nice,
worth of stuff.
Nice package.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we have
that one right there.
giveaway.
Yeah, that one right. This is the captain's giveaway, and this is really awesome. I mean, I kind of went overboard, I guess, on this, not to make a pun, but that print right there is a $75 print that is just unbelievable. It's a guy that catches a fish, takes a photo of it. This is an actual fish that he caught, takes a photo of it before he releases it, and then he goes and draws it. It's unreal. So we got that with some, slick lure, pure flats, Salt Strong, AM Fishing, and that hat, David. Tell me what that is.
Toadfish.
Toadfish. Okay. So Toadfish just sent us a bunch of stuff too. So.
Nice. So that is our giveaway. So let's do the giveaway. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I say that and then I'm not ready. Hold on a second.
While you're not ready, let me just say this: that Maniac mullet. What do you guys know about that? I inherited these whenever I took on the sponsorship. What do you guys know about him? The Maniac mullet, David? Do you know?
It's a Mirror product.
It is, okay.
I've never tried it before. I think it's a popular Texas lure.
Okay.
So I can't comment on its action or how well it works because I've never tried it.
So is it like the Devils?
Let's figure it out. Let's see what that's about.
Yeah.
Is it like the Devils? They have a treble hook on the front.
Yeah, it's a lot like a devil. It's got a
Right.
single treble hook on the front.
Yeah.
So they work really good. They're like a slick, but it's pre-rigged.
Yeah,
So
Okay.
they're real nice.
nice. Okay. All right.
The other 2 weeks ago, my dad whooped my ass with the Slick Junior.
I heard about that.
He caught in. At the end of the day, I finally put on a slick, and because we were fishing against some rocks, just they've thrown it and he was throwing it in the rocks, dragging it out into the water. You off of the rocks. Put on the slick, and I'm not. This isn't a promo for slick. This is the first time I ever used them. About my fifth cast, I caught back-to-back 19 and a half trout. So I'm for sure.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
nice. So let's start with the get on board client giveaway, and we have 20 entries so far. So
Good.
that's pretty good. And let's pick one. It's gonna be the third roll. So that was the first roll, second roll, and the third roll is number 2, which is Kyle Johnson, friend of mine, and his client is Tara McQueen. And Kyle is a guide out of Mississippi, also one of the 4 members of the Speckled Truth. Great guy. Congrats, Kyle. Congrats, Tara. We will be reaching out to you. And one of these SHEEPSHEAD was actually a client. So we only have 3 for SHEEPSHEAD. So there's a really good chance of winning. And we always say we apologize for whoever doesn't win this one because it's it kind of hurts when it's only 3 people. And I think it's actually only 2 people because one person has 2 fish. Okay, so first one's 1, second one is 2, and the winner is 2, which is Reese Bezudenhout. I hope I probably butchered that, but he's from South Carolina with a 23-inch SHEEPSHEAD. That's a nice one.
Wow.
Oh, that's a big one.
Okay.
Hey, Dave, I don't think it matters a ton, but we can't see you draw the number generation thing.
Oh, you can't? I'm sorry. Let me.
I think it's fine, but just FYI.
That's weird. So I have it on my screen. It's in front.
Oh, it could just be my screen, perhaps. But
No, I'm looking at the broadcast and it's not showing. So hold on. Oh, you know what? I'm probably not. Let me see what I'm doing wrong here. Somebody fill the empty space. Okay, here we go. All right, let's try this again. Hey,
there you
I promise you I wasn't cheating. Okay, so there's 4 flounder. Okay, first roll is 2, second roll is 2, and the winner is 1, which is Gulf to Bay. Gulf to Bay is here.
Wow, he's watching. Or she.
That's a southern flounder from Alabama, 21-incher. Nice one.
All right, participation award.
It's Scott Elzy. Congrats, man. Okay, and then trout is a big one. So we have 240 trout.
Come on, 16.
240. All right, first roll is 94. Second roll is 232. If 16 comes up, I'm going to eat my hat. 153. 153 is, who's this? Keith Nuttall, the legend from Virginia, 22-inch trout. Congrats, Keith. I think Keith won recently.
Yeah, I think so too.
When you enter a bunch of fish, you're going to win. So congrats, Keith. That's awesome. That was, was that all 4? 1, 2, 3. Yep.
Yeah.
So we have Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, and Virginia. 4 states represented. Pretty good. Awesome. So let's close this out. Carrie, tell us a little bit about what Greg was doing with this tournament.
Well, it was pretty awesome, really, because Greg was going down to Florida to join Kyle. I can't think of his last name.
Voorhees, was it?
Say it again.
Was it Voorhees?
No.
No.
But anyway, I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared for this, but he was going down to Florida to join a guy that's a 5-year-old guy that's really interested. I'm looking at Scotty. He's probably not over 30. Cliff's not over 30. Chaya's not over. But you guys are all in your 20s. That's what's really unique about
36.
this movement is everybody that is on board.
90%
is in their 20s, early 30s. But anyway, Greg went down there and teamed up with a guy that was doing a tournament, and they took some awesome pictures and videos of releasing 20-inch trout. So we will have that in our repertoire to use for Instagram. But got a lot of stuff going on. We have some. They're talking about they're wanting to build us some bump boards for kayaks, the trough, and then just the aluminum bump boards for boats, the tape measures that guys that wade fish use, and then they're also talking about some, us making a logo of a sticker that would go on your rod, for like 23 inches or whatever, which is a really good idea. Release over 20 and just put that sticker on your rod. And so we had a lot of good stuff in the works.
Carrie, did you see the videos they sent us though? There was like it looked like the tournament rulers, they say release over 20 on them.
They do. They did that themselves.
Cool as hell.
They did it themselves. I mean, we tried to get stickers to them in time, but with the short amount of time we had, we really couldn't fathom up something. But this guy, Kyle, took it all on himself, and he bought 30 boards for this giveaway, spent his own money on them. And then I guess he came up with that release over 20. I saw the video.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So I just so you know, just so all of you guys know, I reached out to them and said, I want those guys to take the lead on that, and that we're going to run, raise the funds, and we're going to get behind that. We'll see where we are after, after April, but I would like to get behind those guys and go ahead and get that bump board. Let them run with it. Let them do the bump boards and the tapes and, all that stuff. So,
yeah, I mean, this is about us. It's not about any individual, right? It's like,
that's right.
Whatever's furthering the mission is we're all about it. So, yeah. So, well, thank you all for tuning in. It's been an hour almost.
It has been, and I want to thank all you guys. Probably we ought to consider thinking about having just a little meeting or something that lasts 30 minutes, so these guys aren't taking an hour out of their lives for, they've got kids and, young kids, and, maybe we should think about taking 30 minutes on a Thursday night or something to where we can all just kind of talk.
Yeah.
And then don't feel like you have to join in on these giveaways.
Y'all are always welcome to join us.
Yeah.
But of course you don't have to. But yeah, you're right. We need to get everyone networked together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're still growing the list. So hopefully pretty soon we'll have it filled out. But thanks everybody. Everyone have a good night. Congrats to the winners. Winners will be reaching out to you, and we'll get them packages out as soon as I get them from Carrie, which won't be till Wednesday.
We keep forgetting to hand them off. Guys, thank you so much. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thank y'all. Have a good night.
Feeling good.
Bye-bye.
Good night.